Welcome to The Road to Roseboro. We discuss college football. Who do I have sitting in front of me?
Yeah, Brian.
Who do I have sitting to my left?
Nobody.
Oh, it's a car. Where did he go? Where's Jacob?
He turned into a car.
Yeah, I just don't think he likes us anymore. He's got better stuff to do than hang out with us, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose so.
All jokes aside, he's going to join. We're doing a part 1 and part 2 episode. Brian's having to leave town tomorrow. He's going somewhere, and Jacob is currently busy right now. So what we're doing is tomorrow, Jacob's going to do part 2, while Brian today is doing part 1.
Yeah.
So I have just Brian with me.
Yep.
We have a couple of topics to talk about.
Yeah, pretty much the way we're doing it is we're doing
we're splitting them.
half the topics today and half the topics tomorrow.
I'm going to pick out the topics I think Brian would most like, and then obviously the rest will go to Jake because first come, first serve. But, alright. The name of our episode will be Till Next Time, just because this is our final episode of Season 1. We're obviously still going to do 5-minute pick-em videos for, the NFL playoffs, stuff like that. But we actually have the movie podcast coming up here soon.
Yeah, we do.
So this is actually technically our official final episode of Season 1. Technically. We'll still be doing 5-minute pick-em videos, stuff like that, just for fun. And talking about draft and stuff like that. It's maybe 10-minute videos at max, because we'll have the movie podcast.
We might... I don't know if we talked about it, but we might have a special episode
for the Super Bowl.
For the Super Bowl and for the draft.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, we might have a special to talk about it, but those won't be typical hour and 10 minute long videos. We'll probably spend 20, 30 minutes talking about what we think of some of the picks and the Super Bowl results, stuff like that.
But let's get this thing started.
Let's do it.
All right, recaps. I should have brought Kleenexes because I know you're about to be really excited. What do you think about the Pats losing to the Titans?
Surprised. I didn't expect the Titans to pull it out.
I was worried about this all week.
But you know what? Good for the Titans. Patriots, it was bound to happen. I mean, you can only have this.
You can only do this for so long.
Yeah, for so long. In fact, don't forget there was a 10-year stretch where where Patriots were losing playoff games and other Super Bowls also. Mm-hmm. So it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that the Patriots are going anywhere. Everybody's freaking out about the dynasty is over.
I think this has been one of the silliest. I'm with you. I think people do this whenever they finally get that taste of oh God, they've been defeated. They go, oh, the dynasty's dead. They went 12-4 this year. I mean, they're not horrible. They got issues
with a depleted roster, no less.
Yeah, they got issues, but a lot of these things are fixable. We'll talk about the Brady thing later. We'll get into that, but that is one of our topics that I'm very intrigued to hear Brian's opinion on, and I also have a very, I feel interesting opinion on it. Okay. But the Saints versus Minnesota, what do you think about this one, Brian?
The Saints versus the Minnesota?
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy for Minnesota, man. Mm-hmm. I really am. I'm very happy for Minnesota. Because I expect the Saints to handle them.
Mm-hmm.
No, and which I think most people did.
Yeah, we all picked the Saints last week.
I don't think anyone outside of the Northwest was picking the Saints.
No,
to win that game. But good for Minnesota. Good for Kirk Cousins. He was able to prove some doubters wrong, and I was happy. And I was happy for that.
He's the one I'm most happy for because I kind of like Kirk Cousins.
I understand.
I understand the criticism.
Yeah, I completely do.
But a lot of their games this year, where they lost Monday nights or Wednesday night or Thursday nights. They wasn't really his fault, technically, for the most part. He played decent in a lot of them, big-time losses this year.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about previous years.
Well, even last year when he lost the Monday night game, I think it was the Monday night game against the Rams,
he played awesome. He played great.
He played great. So, yeah. So, yeah, I understand the criticisms that Kirk Cousins sometimes gets, but I would call him a top 15 quarterback, though.
I would, too.
I would put him at an upper half. A good second tier quarterback is what I would say he is.
I was rubbing my nipples to the Saints losing. Nothing excites me more than that fan base having to suffer through another stupid loss. I've never seen a fan base whine and cry and go on about how they need to change the rules. I've seen them saying they need to change the overtime rules. Look, I've always been a big component that overtime rules need to be changed.
But now you don't.
Now I don't want them changed at all. Out of spite. Because you did this with the pass interference rule, which has become one of the stupidest rules. It's useless. It hardly ever gets used. I don't know. I'm happy the Saints lost, but I'm happy for Kirk Cousins. But I'm more happy the Saints lost just because of last year.
Yeah. I'm not even going to dignify the possible penalty that should or should not have been called on the last play of the game. When, again, it's like, and one thing I brought this up to you before we started this. I'm glad nobody's buying it this year. Everyone bought into it last year. The refs cost them the game.
I think me and you were like one of the few people that were like, refs don't cost you games.
I was not. Do you guys not remember that you got the ball first in overtime
and
threw a pick, or you could have stopped them on? You still had a chance to stop them on defense from tying the game up.
Yep.
Because
on top of that, you had the what was it? You had the ball. Well, you had the lead. Well, you had like a 10-point lead or something like that.
Yeah,
late in the game.
I remember in the first half at one point
it looked like it was going to be total domination.
It looked like in the first half, I think it was like 13-0 or something like that. So yeah, I don't want to hear that. And again, in this game, like how many like mess ups did the Saints have?
Yep.
You know, because I think the Saints were like had like an early lead and they blew that. So yeah, I don't want to hear nothing about like the refs costed you the game.
I am 100% on your side here. I think me and you both have agreed. Blaming refs for losses is stupid, and the Saints fans just need to get over it. Quit being a Georgia fan, because that's what you've been. Bitching and whining and crying because things didn't go your way. Well, that's life. That's how the world works. Suck it up.
Yeah, I'm totally on your side. I'm totally with you. Yeah.
Yep. The next game, the Bills versus Texans. What'd you think of this game?
Deshaun Watson.
He's good.
Oh my god.
He is legit.
Yeah. I think I remember, like, as much as like sometimes it felt like the Texans were like willing to give the Bills to win at times, but I was so happy with the results because I was like rooting for like the Texans and Deshaun Watson to win that game because I am becoming a big Deshaun Watson fan. He is slowly becoming like one of my top 5 favorite quarterbacks. Not saying he's like a top 5 best. He's just one of my top 5 favorites.
I really like Deshaun Watson too. I'm with you.
My favorite receiver is on the Houston Texans also, DeAndre Hopkins. So I typically root for the Texans whenever they're on.
Yeah.
But super hyped for them. The Bills played their hearts out. I'll give a lot of credit to the Bills. They did play really good. Even though Josh Allen was hit or miss.
He's still young.
He's still young. He still made some big time throws when he had to at times. So
he also had, I think, a touchdown reception.
Did he?
Yeah,
because I think I missed the first quarter.
Yeah, because they ran a trick play and he had a touchdown reception. It was the Bills' first touchdown in the playoffs since '99.
Great.
And you also want to hear something funny? The last time the Bills won a playoff game, the Texans wasn't even a franchise.
That's great.
That's hilarious.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But I don't think the Bills are going anywhere.
No, I think I am, as a New England fan, that right there is what I'm terrified of, the Bills.
They have a great coach. They have a great roster.
They literally have everything figured out. Like, everything, they're moving in the right direction in almost every front.
And they even have a running back for the future.
Yeah.
They do. I think the only thing they need is maybe they need like one more piece at the receiving end, like and they can get that in the draft.
Yep.
Like there's plenty of like good receivers coming out in the draft, like Oklahoma receivers, LSU receivers, Alabama receivers.
I'd draft CeeDee Lamb if he drops. It's going to be tough because I don't know if he's going to drop this far. But if the Bills can get a hold of CeeDee Lamb, yeah, they're going to be scary because CeeDee Lamb is one of the best receivers I've ever seen in college.
And all Josh Allen needs is like, and you can fix this with coaching. All he needs is like his accuracy to get worked on.
There were things that can be fixed over time.
He made a lot of improvements since last year.
Yeah. Oh God,
he was a mess last year.
Last year you saw some of the promise with like his mentality, but you never saw it like with being able to throw the ball. Like you saw like he had the right mentality of like an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
But this year, like, it was leaps and bounds, like, in progress, throwing the ball.
Yes.
Nothing spectacular, but damn it, he figured out how to play quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah. I'm happy for Josh Allen the way he played this year. I'm happy for the Bills overall. Cause
watch him be Mr. Trubisky next year.
I hope not. I really do. But best of luck to him. I don't think they're going anywhere.
I don't either.
But yeah, good for them.
What do you think about the Seahawks versus the Eagles?
Man,
Man down.
I'm actually not even going to go into that. We were wrong about DK Metcalf.
Oh, we were. Without a doubt.
We were totally wrong.
We could not have been more wrong about DK Metcalf. We done nothing but talk shit about how he cannot run routes or how he... my God, he's a monster.
He's turned into like probably one of the best deep threats in the NFL this year. He's up there.
Yeah.
And that touchdown catch he made... What was it in the third quarter when he made that touchdown catch? That was just unreal. And that clutch fourth quarter catch that he made to put the game away. Yeah, great.
Well, he's like a tight end. He's got like the size of a tight end, but the speed of a wide receiver.
Yeah,
it's almost unfair. I don't know what we were thinking, because my biggest issue with him in college was, I think it was a fair criticism at the time. Awful route runner, awful. But also, I should have took into factor, if he gets drafted by the right team, and the Seahawks were definitely a right team with great coaching, that would be fixed. So, I should have took that into factor, and I was way off on that one, because I was like, oh, he'll suck.
Well, it's not like you were alone in that, too, because he dropped.
Yeah. He was like fourth round, I think. Third, fourth.
I thought he was second, but he was not a first-round pick, and everybody thought he would be.
Yeah.
So, we were not alone on the doubts, but...
We were just like the stupid NFL GMs. That's exactly what we were.
I'm very happy though. I'm actually super happy. I love it. I do love it when like players like prove all the criticisms wrong.
Oh yeah,
especially when it's our criticisms.
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I love it. I really do.
For him. He seems like a humble kid. Got things figured out and plays really well.
Yeah, and now he could be like one of the for the future. He could be like one of the best deep threats.
Yep.
The NFL has.
He's a monster.
I hope he keps it up. Well, we'll see how he does against the Packers next season, next week.
Yeah,
this week. But as far as the Eagles go, look, I'm not gonna say a word about like
man down.
I'm not going to criticize Wentz from the sense that I think that he's injury prone from the way he takes. Go ahead and I'll say mine.
Yeah, at this point, because I know what you're about to say because we talked about it earlier. But honestly, at this point, I just find this more funny. Like, Carson Wentz plays the entire year. It looks like, oh my God, he's going to finally get his chance to play in the playoffs. 5 months in, he's hurt. Now, whether who's to blame there or whatever, I just find it like crazy that this man can literally not stay healthy. You brought up a good point that I brought this up too early on like private conversations, where he was used to FCS competition in college.
Yeah, and I got that from because you made that point earlier, way earlier. But I remember after that week, I think it was on First Things First. One of like the analysts pointed that out about like because you're not going up against like virtuoso talent, at defense. You're not going up against like 6'5".
No, you can just steamroll people.
255-pound guys. So they're and he could just be like just too used to that.
Yep.
And I think that's the big thing. I don't think it has anything to do with like his body or the way he takes care of himself or anything like that. I don't think it has anything to do with that. To where his body will something will happen as soon as like a gust of wind hits him wrong. Mm-hmm. My biggest problem.
Well, he's a big kid. I mean, he's like 6'5", 220, something like that. He's big.
My biggest problem has always been this: he keeps running head first
into issues. Linebackers, safeties. I mean,
that's the biggest because everyone's talking about like that was a dirty hit by that was like a dirty hit by Clowney on that hit.
Yeah,
and it was helmet to helmet. He it probably should have been called, fine, whatever.
You probably need to slide though. I think that's more important.
If he slides, he's probably not getting hurt.
Yep.
I have to point that out. He is diving head first on that play, if I remember
correctly. Because
correctly.
A slide,
because he was diving head first, right? Like that was what happened.
And the technical rule of a slide, like the technicality of a slide is once you start sliding, no one can hit you.
You're considered vulnerable.
Yep. Once you because you're giving yourself up. It's like kneeing the ball.
Yeah.
Like you can't just go kill somebody kneeing the ball. So, I'm with you, but, yeah, I'm very intrigued to see where the Eagles' direction, because if I'm the Eagles, I am drafting a backup quarterback this year, just because you don't know when this is going to happen. This has been it's happened every year almost. Mm-hmm. So, you do need to get at least a decent backup quarterback, maybe if this situation happens. Heck, Nick Foles has been terrible in Jacksonville. Get him back. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Who knows? But yeah, I'm not gonna like sit here and say that like because of the fact that concussions are freak accidents.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. You can't really control getting a concussion like you can control other things.
Yeah.
When it comes to injury, so I won't pin this particular incident on him this particular time, but that always has been a concern because every single game you are going in wondering, is Carson Wentz
going to finish it?
Yep. There is that question mark. And I love Carson Wentz. I'm a Carson Wentz fan. But that is like a huge question mark.
It's like Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose.
NBA.
Okay.
Yeah, NBA. Derrick Rose had the same issue where, well, I mean, I start nicknaming him Mr. Glass.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He get hurt every year. But next topic.
But I feel bad for him though, and
yeah.
I hope he's okay. And I hope he lights it up next year.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what I'll end.
I mean, I hope he don't. I just hope one team wins it all for me.
Right, but
yeah,
I like Carson Wentz though, so that's my thing.
New York hires who?
Joe Judge.
Yeah, you know what that almost sounds like? It sounds like one of them reality shows, like what's it, Judge Judy?
I've heard that joke. That's been a huge meme.
Really?
That I've seen.
I actually haven't seen that one, but yeah, it's actually like you just said Judge. I was like, God, that sounds like a TV show.
I've seen that somewhere. I can't remember where, but I've seen that somewhere.
How was this man hired? This is one of the dumbest hires I've seen. Like, they brought him in for 5 seconds. They had other candidates that they were supposed to interview, and they're just like, we'll just hire this Judge guy. I like this guy. He's a nice guy.
Oh, my God.
He knows Belichick. Hire him.
Yeah, like, it is like the typical thing where, like, if this guy worked with Belichick,
Hire him.
And yeah, it's worked.
Wouldn't he?
It's worked, hasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Like every coach that worked under Bill Belichick.
The only one that's had any success is the Texans coach right now. Every other experiment that they've tried, Charlie Weiss at Notre Dame, what a nightmare.
And I guess technically a player, but Mike Vrabel worked okay.
Okay, yeah. Mike he's done really well.
Yeah,
I'd give him that. But Josh McDaniels was absolute nightmare.
But he didn't coach under him though. He was just a player, wasn't he? Did he?
Mike Vrabel? I think he was like a coach like for a bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But Matt Patricia, that's been a disaster up in Detroit.
Oh God.
So yeah, I'm not really big on the
Belichick thing.
I'm not really big on this hire at all. I don't understand it because you know what his job was at New England.
He was the special teams coordinator.
Yeah, which was good. And a wide receiver.
Yeah, wide receiver.
Probably the worst core of wide receivers New England has ever had, and you hired this man. Like, people didn't know what routes to run at New England. And yet, this is the man you're going to hire? I don't know. I think this is an awful hire. I'm with you.
I remember where the Judge Judy analogies came from now. It was Whitlock and Wiley. Speak for yourself. That's where I heard it. So it wasn't meme. It was it wasn't a meme I saw. It was that.
I hadn't heard that. I just thought like, God, it sounds like a. I guess everybody thinks alike on this one. This is just weird.
It is weird. It is bizarre.
This is a horrible hire.
Yeah. I mean,
literally anything else. Josh McDaniels would have been a better hire.
Probably.
This is I don't even understand this one.
I don't get it. I'm confused too.
He's going to bring the judge. The Panthers hire Matt Rule. Now, me and you had some debate over this one. So I'll let you actually go first with Matt Rule. What do you think about the Panthers hiring Matt Rule?
I don't know.
Okay.
That is the thing. I'm not sure about it. Like, I know you're a huge fan of him, but me personally, with me not being a fan of him, I guess, and not the fact that I dislike him or anything. I'm not familiar.
Yeah.
Enough with him. I know that. Yeah, he brought Temple back from the brink. He brought Baylor back from the brink. I just wonder. I'm just questioning. Will that translate to the NFL? Is my only question.
Yeah.
Like, because. I've seen it not work, so So I mean, that's my question.
My thought process when it goes into Matt Rule being hired is he didn't just take over a nightmare at Baylor. He took over one of the worst situations I think I've ever seen. They were. I mean, their former coach was letting players go around campus assaulting women.
Yeah.
So he took over that dumpster fire, and they had over like 30 players get cut from the team, playing with like a bunch of walk-ons. Go 1-11, and what I've always been impressed with Matt Rule, and what I think will work at the Panthers is he's able to galvanize people. What he was able to do at Baylor with less talent, because you look at Baylor this year, talent-wise, they're a 7-win team at most. They probably should have lost to TCU. They went into overtime, won 9-6 or something horrendous. They barely beat Texas Tech. They had to go like 4 overtimes with Texas Tech. They beat Iowa State by 1 point. But the guy just finds a way to take these less talented players that people were not, wasn't really big prospects or big names. And he's able to scheme them in the right areas. The best coaching performance I've seen by him last year was the second go-around versus Oklahoma. And the reason I'm so impressed with that second go-around versus Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship is because Baylor lost their starting quarterback, their second-string quarterback, and their third-string quarterback. They literally had to throw some kid that hadn't played all season in and had to take him off red shirt. And they went to overtime with Oklahoma. So something about him, I always feel like he's a great schemer, and he's great at galvanizing. And the biggest problem with the Panthers is they fall off the rails when things ain't working out as much. So
right.
This hire, to me, I think is one of the better hires in the NFL. I appreciate it because maybe I'm just a Matt Rule fanboy, but I like this hire a lot.
It's a wait-and-see scenario for me.
I would say every hire, though, is. For the most. I mean, there's some that are obviously like Urban Meyer to USC. No shit.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. There is just a part of me that is just I'm hoping that it goes well, but I don't.
I kind of hope it doesn't. So I see him back in college,
right?
Weirdly enough, because I don't know. I just love the dude.
They have like a kind of like a Saban scenario,
yeah.
To where like you dominate in college, absolutely just fall flat on your face in the NFL and go back to college and
yep. I would almost blame the Saban incident. I don't even know if that's all his fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't even, the doctors wouldn't clear Drew Brees to play. That worked out, didn't it?
Right.
But boy, that didn't backfire at all. What could go wrong? But our next topic.
Drew Brees, was he at Miami?
He was going to be.
Oh, okay.
You didn't know? Yeah, he was, Nick Saban wanted Drew Brees to come
I didn't know
to Miami.
That.
Yeah. Okay, the story goes, Drew Brees wanted, Nick Saban wanted Drew Brees to come to Miami, right?
Okay.
After, he had that terrible injury with the Chargers.
Yes.
And the, everybody at the time was like, I don't know if Drew Brees will ever play another down in the NFL. So Nick Saban was like, we'll try to play him, whatever. The doctors from Miami wouldn't clear him, saying he would never play football again. That backfired.
Yeah. Now Sean Payton is just
lighting the league up with him.
Yep.
But our next coaching hire, Mike McCarthy.
To the Dallas Cowboys.
We'll see.
Yeah, okay.
I don't even know. I brought up this point to Brian earlier. I was saying, the biggest issue ain't really Mike McCarthy as a coach for me in this scenario. Mike McCarthy's never dealt with an owner. Never. The Green Bay Packers don't have an owner. He's never had to deal with this.
And here's the thing: he not only is he dealing with an owner,
he's dealing with the owner.
I actually didn't think about that, but yeah, that is actually that's a very good point.
I don't see how this really gels. I don't know. There's two sides I can look at this. Either Jerry Jones, this is a good thing for Mike McCarthy because it will provide structure, and he can bring in all these talented players. Or it can be what I think most people are going to think it's going to be. Jerry Jones won't shut the hell up after a loss. Mike McCarthy will be telling his team one thing. Jerry Jones will be saying another thing to the media, and it's all going to blow up in their face.
Which has been kind of a trend for
how
many decades now?
Yeah, about 2 decades.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. And so, yeah, I actually completely agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't see... Because as long as Jerry Jones is in the position he is in, I don't know if any coach is going to... Even if they would have gotten someone like Urban Meyer, who I think could have some success in the NFL, who is a great coach, Well, I mean, Jerry Jones just over a decade ago had one of the greatest coaches in NFL history, Bill Parcells. How well did that run? How well did that turn out?
Yep. I would argue this for Mike McCarthy's sake. It's just coaching perspective.
Yeah, coaching perspective.
Yeah, because the other factors I'm not going to factor into what I'm about to say because I understand them other factors are going to play a bigger role than what I'm going on here. I will say one thing I was very impressed with Mike McCarthy's career is he kind of resurrected Brett Favre. Yeah. In a weird... Because Brett Favre was dead almost. And then Mike McCarthy comes in, they go 13-3. They have a very good year. He done a very good job, getting Aaron Rodgers to where he is now. Now, granted, we'll see how he does with Dak Prescott, but it's one of them wait and see. I agree. And it's less wait and see from a coaching aspect, in my opinion, more of just
how is this going to work
behind the scenes.
Yeah, which is like
I see this kind of being a mess.
Yeah, I don't see it being that much like.
I don't see it much. Yeah,
I don't see the situation improving. I really don't.
Jason Garrett 2.0 with maybe a little bit of a better coach. That's what you got. Mike McCarthy should have went to Cleveland or somewhere.
I heard that was like the. I've heard that before. I've heard that was like the big assumption was.
Oh, that'd be incredible.
Yeah,
him in Cleveland. I think he could have brought some structure to because Dallas don't really need structure within its players. They need structure within top management.
Yeah,
the owner.
Yeah.
But
which I think I pointed this out. I said, Jerry Jones, just sell the team to Stephen Jones. You can remain general manager and be the head coach of the team.
Yeah, I would actually.
Stephen Jones could hire you as the head coach of the team. You can do that. Sure,
I'd actually love that. I actually want to see that
because
what'd you do if Jerry Jones was the head coach and they won a Super Bowl?
Oh my god!
It would be just a very odd time.
Our viewpoents is gonna be.
My perception of the game of football will change.
Yeah, yeah, like that.
I will look down on it as a sport.
I may not never watch football again.
I think it's the dumbest sport ever. Yeah,
because I would just be like, "There's no way. Like, this is not
work.
This is not reality."
Yeah. Our next topic: will Brady be in New England next year? What do you think, Brian?
Man. I think I said this earlier as well. With Tom Brady, it's never predictable.
Yay or nay, starting off?
Right now, nay.
Right now, nay?
Right now, nay.
Okay.
That could change.
Okay.
Because like I said, I am not like making any concrete statements about Tom Brady.
Bring in the Dalton! We'll get into that in a second.
Yeah, but
yeah.
I hope it all works out though. Like because even though as much as you don't believe it, I am a Tom Brady fan.
No, you're not. You're not.
I root against New England. I don't root against.
You hate Tom Brady.
I do not.
I remember last year the AFC Championship game. Whenever we were watching it, them play Kansas City, you looked defeated on that last drive. You looked like your soul had been taken. Like I was like, yes, they won, and you would have looked at me and go, "Yay." Another Super Bowl.
That was more towards New England itself than Tom Brady. Because I, for once, had like as much hope as I had no doubt Tom Brady was going to do what Tom Brady does. So
make them suffer.
Yeah, Tom Brady's just guilty by association.
He's just there, so you hate him. Yeah,
because honestly, I would get tired and I'm a fan of the Steelers. I grew up a fan of the Steelers. If the Steelers were winning 5 Super Bowls in a row, I would get tired of it.
Oh, I don't. But when New England don't make a Super Bowl for me, it almost feels like a day in mourning. I'm not used to it. It's odd. I'm very confused by it right now because I've been used to the last... It just shows how spoiled us New England fans have been. Because honestly, we don't go to the Super Bowl. We're like, we were awful this year. Our team needs to be rehauled. Get rid of Brady. Get rid of Belichick. Get rid of Kraft. They all suck. We overreact. So
if Julian Edelman was just a little bit healthier, you guys probably would have won more games. I'm just going to go and tell you that. There's not that many problems going on.
Yeah, like Edelman was just dropping passes left and right because he played half the year injured. I mean, but yeah, we've been spoiled as New England fans. But yeah, you think right now you're saying nay.
Yeah, no.
I'm going with 80. I'm I'm gonna say yes so far.
Okay.
I'm gonna say yes, but it's very meh. Because honestly, this feels more like it's in Brady's hands than Belichick's.
He's a free agent, so yes.
Yes. But also Belichick can choose whether to bring him on or not still.
Yeah.
So I'm very intrigued to see. But this whole scenario almost sounds like it's more of a Brady has control over the scenario over Belichick because of Kraft's statements. If you didn't see what Robert Kraft said.
I haven't.
He said, I just hope Brady fits into our plans next year.
Yeah, okay.
So there's something there that... a lot of this, I think, has to do with a contract dispute because Brady's no longer wanting to take a pay cut. And I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm him, I don't either after what I've seen at receiving corps. I understand the frustrations. Is that right? I don't know. That's not for me to judge. But Brady took all these pay cuts for, maybe to get a star wide receiver or somebody. They tried, but they also tried it cheap. So I'm very intrigued to see how this really plays out. But I'm going to say yes right now.
Okay.
I think he has... For me, though, I think it has more to do with... It's just odd to not see him. And I don't know how that would look. It would just be weird. It just...
Yeah.
It's kind of like Peyton Manning with the Colts.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Because the thing with me with about the whole thing is the fact that because Bill Belichick's been wanting to get Brady for several years now.
Yeah.
He's not wanted Brady on the team for several years. And now that he's a free agent, they also have a right to say no to him also.
They do.
So
the only thing that also makes me say yes, honestly, though, this is the wrong year to do it. This is a terrible year to get rid of him. Maybe 2-3 years ago, it'd been a great move with Jimmy Garoppolo's backup.
Yeah.
Who the hell are you going to bring in? There's talks of Andy Dalton?
Yeah.
No. God, no.
Yeah. I have no clue what the heck that came from, and
that's one of the oddest things I heard that this morning. I about had a heart attack. I visibly felt ill to my stomach. I was like, no.
Andy Dalton, the next Super Bowl Hall.
I would be happy if it happened.
But will it happen?
No.
So, yeah.
No. Just take your chance with the 43-year-old. He's better than Andy Dalton. I don't understand this at all. This is one of the more odder stories. But as it pertains like a backup, I don't know which route you kind of go to get rid of him. I would honestly try to keep him on for one more year. Try to see what you can get in the draft coming up. Or try to get somebody this year. Mm-hmm. This is a really good quarterback class. Try to get somebody, sit him for a year, and see what happens. You throw Jarrett Stidham in there with that wide receiving core, he's done. It's over. So, we'll have to see.
Well, we will see.
Yeah. Hopefully, look, I'm a New England fan. I'm not I like Tom Brady. I love Tom Brady. I make jokes about Tom Brady, how he's like the greatest and perfect and everything. But I'm a New England fan first. So whatever's in New England's best interest, I want. But we'll see.
Okay.
I'm very, very worried about where the future is heading. I think we'll still be fine, but I don't know. We'll see. Our next topic is another coaching hire. This one involves college. Mike Leach is hired by Mississippi State. Brian, what do you think about this?
I don't think it's going to work.
I want this to work so bad.
I don't think it's going to work.
I want it to work.
I don't think it's going to work.
Throw the ball 70 times in the SEC. Hell with running the ball. What is that? So you think this is going to be a mess?
Yep. Yeah.
What makes you think that, though?
Just on the sense of and you made the point about about how
let me get this out of the way. I'm with you on this. I think this is a horrible idea.
A lot of teams like to follow trends.
Yeah.
Oh, the SEC is starting to pass more.
Oh yeah,
we need to get.
We want to be LSU.
Okay, LSU and Alabama, by the way,
have receivers for days,
and they have two great quarterbacks also.
Yeah.
I tell you what, name me two quarterbacks that plays for LSU in the past decade that played anywhere near as well as Joe Burrow did this year.
None.
So
these things are a rarity. Heck, Alabama. Name a quarterback that's played as well as Tua. None.
Yeah.
Well, A.J. McCarron? No.
So, yeah, I don't want to hear anything about... and I think that's why Mississippi State has done this hire for Mike Leach. Mm-hmm. Let's get a passing or coach. Because if it would have been
Mike Leach is not just passing, by the way, though. Mike Leach is literally, I don't know what running the ball is.
Because if it would have been a Big 12 school...
Oh, perfect. Fine. He used to coach in the Big 12. He used to coach Texas Tech.
So, yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Fine. I can be Big on board with that. Cool.
There are two conferences which I say this is a horrible hire. The Big Ten and the SEC. You cannot do these things in these conferences. There's too much speed and talent.
And too much too much power running in football. Yep. Like, you're never going to get the ball.
No! Yeah, go ahead and do that against LSU. You'll get beat 50-21. Like, you'll get 500 passing yards. Everybody go, oh my God, he's a leader in passing yards in the nation. They're giving up 38 points in the first quarter.
Yeah,
I'm with you. This is dumb.
Yeah, and I tell you what, here's another thing. Because he was coaching for Washington State.
Washington State, yep.
How good were their defenses?
Horrible. They actually, if this tells you anything, they lost the game 67-63 this year. So, in which their quarterback threw 9 touchdowns and they lost.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Do that in the SEC. See how that works.
God.
I can't wait for this, honestly.
Yeah, I think...
I want this to work as like a Mike Leach fan. Because
I don't see it.
Me, personally, I'm the biggest Mike Leach fan. I think he's like the most perfect human being. He's insane.
He's eccentric.
Hell yeah, he is. This man will talk about anything. He'll talk about Bigfoot, aliens, Robot Jesus, anything. But I'm with you. This is a terrible hire.
Yeah,
I can't see this working at all.
I agree with you. I really do.
Please make us eat crow, Mike Leach.
Please, yeah. I don't want to be proven right on this, but yeah, I don't see it working at all.
Yep. Now, next topic. Who should the American Athletic Conference add? With them losing UConn because UConn's leaving for basketball and UConn's football program is going to die. Who do you think the American Athletics Conference should add as a 12th team? You already know mine.
Yeah, I can't disagree with yours because I can't think of a better one.
Yeah.
So I might have to ride your bandwagon on this one just because I can't think of a better one.
Yeah, we both think North Dakota State should make that jump because
just because
they would be perfect. Like, you're wasting your time. You've not lost a game in 3 years. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's
James Madison wouldn't be a bad team.
James Madison wouldn't be either
because they kind of fit that mold of like the East side. So they would have replaced UConn in that division.
Yeah, I agree with you on this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but just because it's so unfair.
Yeah,
for the
it's like putting Alabama in the FCS. See how that works.
Yeah.
They beat the hell out of everybody. I think me and you were both in agreement that the other one I brought up maybe would be interesting is BYU. Just because they're one of the biggest universities in the country. They have a huge fan base because they're a Mormon university. They have basically they have their own TV program. I'm not even kidding. Like they have a thing called BYU TV. So they actually have their own station where they just talk about BYU sports.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it's not just in Utah. This is a ESPN own thing.
Really?
Yes.
I thought it was like
BYU. No, BYU's huge. There's a reason why BYU can stay independent and make all the revenue in the world. Because they had USC play at BYU this year in Utah. So yeah, I mean BYU, they have a huge fan base.
Wow.
Yeah, that's BYU is to Mormons what Notre Dame is to Catholics. Is the best way I could describe it. Like they have that religion locked down. But next topic. There's a couple of quarterbacks that kind of unexpectedly, chose to go to the NFL. The first one I want to talk about is Jake Fromm because that's the obvious one out of the two unexpected ones that probably could have success. What's your opinion on Jake Fromm going to the NFL?
I've always liked Jake Fromm, and I've always considered him as a good, not great quarterback.
Alex Smith.
Yeah. So
I use that comparison a lot, and that's no disrespect to Alex Smith. I actually really like Alex Smith.
Right.
It's just you do the things that work.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think he's going to make like any like main headways or anything in the NFL. Hopefully, I'm wrong.
He'll probably win 12 Super Bowls.
Now that I said that, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Like I can think of plenty of quarterbacks that I would like better than Jake Fromm personally.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple. There's a lot of them too. I agree.
Yeah. But good. If this is what he thinks is best for him, he should do it.
If I were Jake Fromm, I think it makes the most sense for him to stay another year for development. If I'm him.
Yeah.
But I can understand his reasoning because Georgia at wide receiver has been pretty shoddy, and Georgia's coaching staff, I question them a lot. They have all the talent in the world, but they make some dumb decisions in games. Like last year, whenever they had the fake punt against Alabama. What the hell was that? Or Notre Dame. They should have blew that one because they had a 4th and 1. And instead of converting a 4th and 1 to, in the game, they fooled around and almost let Notre Dame get back in that and win it. So they're bad situationally. So I don't know. We'll see how good Kirby Smart is at Georgia without, his go-to boy.
The best thing I can say is I think it is kind of a big if he goes in the first round. It might be a late first-round pick, so he might go to a good team.
See, I think he's going to be like a 4th, 5th-round pick, something like that.
Yeah.
I think he's going to end up somewhere that will give him time.
Yeah.
He can learn, and we'll see how it goes.
With like a veteran presence to it, maybe.
Yeah. Hell, send him to New England. Tom Brady starts this year. Jake Fromm is the backup. Brady won't teach him shit, so this is actually a bad idea. But you get where I was trying to go.
Indianapolis, maybe.
Yeah.
Indianapolis, because he's
Steelers.
The Steelers
would be a decent one, I think.
The Steelers, maybe. Heck, I wouldn't be opposed to him going to Miami.
Well, no, because I think
Tua's going to go there. Never mind. But I was thinking like under Ryan Fitzpatrick, but Tua's going to go there. Never mind.
Yeah,
but there's a few teams.
The other one is a junior. He's a quarterback. He was the first quarterback we actually talked about on our show. Like a big quarterback we talked about on our show. Plays out west. Plays on an island. Hawaii. McDonald is going to the NFL.
From Hawaii.
Why in the hell are you leaving this early? No one has you picked at all. They don't run the run and shoot in the NFL, kid. I'm just going to warn you. He might be in for a rude awakening. He got benched in college. We watched him get benched against Arizona. 4 touchdowns, 3 picks.
Yeah, so I thought he threw 4 picks.
Yeah, well, he's a college version of... Yeah, I think he did. He's a college version of Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
This is bad. I don't like this at all.
I don't know about it, man. I didn't. That's to be fair. I'm gonna go ahead and say this. That's the only game I watched him play in.
Oh, really?
I didn't watch. I actually missed the bowl game that Hawaii played.
That game was awesome.
But so I'm going to be fair in that regard. Mm-hmm. But like you said, it's like the air raid doesn't work. The run and shoot doesn't work.
The run and shoot definitely don't.
So
go ahead. You go ahead and try that in the NFL. Run the ball up the middle. Throw it 50 yards every play. See where that gets you. Hell, there was a coach that kind of did that. Not run and shoot, but ran an offense very similar that was high paced. Chip Kelly.
How'd that go?
A disaster. It don't work in the NFL. You can't do it. Too much speed. But to me, this is just one of them stories I looked at and I was like, why?
The only way I could see it working is if he just sits out for like 2 or 3 years underneath like a good quarterback coach or like a good veteran quarterback that could teach him and stuff like that. That's the only way I could see it working out.
I'll say this, and
but not 1 year, several.
I'm a huge college football fan, so I've kept up with all the quarterbacks that come out of Hawaii. Hawaii's always had these quarterbacks that throw up like 500,000 passing yards, like whatever. They throw up like these huge passing yards, like 4,000 passing yards in a season, 5,000, 6,000, just ridiculous numbers. None of them work in the NFL, and one in particular, the NFL was huge on this kid, Colt Brenham, 2007. Got Hawaii to the Sugar Bowl. Everybody thought this kid was like the next Jesus. Threw 59 touchdown passes. Everybody thought this kid was just the bee's knees. Went to the NFL. Horrible. He didn't know how to read defenses because in college all he did was you either hand it off or you throw it deep. That's the run and shoot. That's what it is. That is literally the run and shoot. You don't go by what the defense is doing. You go by whatever you see out in coverage.
Whatever team will take him, though, they're going to wait till probably the 6th, 7th round to take him.
Yeah.
Or if they do.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get drafted. I think this is one of the weirdest decisions.
I hope he does, but yeah, there's
for his sake, yeah.
Yeah, for his sake, but who knows?
Yeah. All right, our next topic. I shouldn't have told you this earlier. What was the first word said on our podcast?
Yeah, I thought it was just "Welcome to Road to the Rose Bowl," but no. Apparently, it says we're going.
Yep, because our first episode of our podcast, we didn't know what we were doing. We started.
We still don't.
We still don't. I feel like we have a better understanding of what we're doing compared to now than what we did then. But then we had zero clue. We were just so excited to do it. We didn't go in and edit this out or anything. And that's the first word said on our podcast is we're going. I'm kind of proud of that. I don't know. I just think it's awesome. But the transfer portal. Wisconsin, a kick returner for Wisconsin?
Yeah.
He's entering the transfer portal. Now, what I'm wanting to ask here is, what do you think about the transfer portal in general?
I like it.
I do too.
Like if a guy doesn't like the situation he's in right now, he could go somewhere else.
I agree.
It doesn't.
Coaches can do it.
Yeah, and it doesn't tie somebody down. It doesn't pretty much make them a prisoner in any place.
I've seen a ton of people go on and on about how this ruins the purity of football.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
It ruins the purity of college sports. No, college sports. This makes it better, in my opinion, because a kid that wouldn't have started at Wisconsin, like say if a 5-star prospect don't work out at Wisconsin, right? Just throwing that example out.
Yeah.
He can go to somewhere like Fresno State then, and it evens out the playing field amongst everybody. You know what I mean? Like the smaller colleges can compete with the bigger schools now.
Yeah.
Because they're getting these transfer portal players. So I actually really like it. I think it's a good thing. And vice versa. If a player is great at a Group of 5 school that don't get much attention, he can transfer into a Power 5 school.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow wouldn't even be a thing if the transfer portal didn't exist.
And speaking of transfers, how is like a kid in FCS that's too good for there? I say that with respect. But, if his talent is
there was a player not too long ago that played at Eastern Washington. Vernon Adams, I think was his name.
Yeah.
Kid was a beast at quarterback. It was just unfair. And he decided to transfer to Oregon. Had a very good year.
Good.
So,
or how would junior college work? I mean, if those are transfers, I mean,
I think junior college it works differently.
Okay.
Like junior college, because you're technically still in. I don't know how that works. It's not part of the NCAA technically.
Okay. But I figured it did. But yeah. So yeah, I didn't know that it was considered like a controversial topic. But I think it's great.
I think so too.
I like it.
A lot of idiots think it is. I guess. This is one of the more interesting questions because both of us are going to be wrong. What's your very, very early predictions for next season's top 4 teams in the college football playoffs? Start with number 1.
Number 1, I think, will be Clemson.
I don't think it'll be Clemson because of schedule.
Okay. But yeah, Clemson, Ohio State, Alabama, and a 4th team that's going to just get killed by one of those 3 teams.
Mm-hmm. probably Texas or Oklahoma.
Or I think you brought up Oregon.
Yeah, they'll go get killed. So that's your top 4 you're going with? You're going with Ohio State, Clemson, Alabama, and who's the 4th? You got to pick one.
I'll go with
just
Oklahoma.
So we can see how wrong we are.
I'll go with Oklahoma again.
Oklahoma? That's not a bad one. Hell, they go every year. My top 4 is going to be Ohio State, the number 1 seed. Number 2 seed is going to be Alabama. Number 3 seed is going to be Clemson. And the number 4 seed is going to be... I'm wanting to pull the trigger on this one and say maybe Florida, but I'll probably go for Oregon. I'm going to go for Oregon, just because they play in the Pac-12 and they return a lot of players.
Yeah, okay.
So I can see that. Now watch us be horribly wrong because it's not even next year yet. But
yeah, the national championship hasn't even been played yet.
Nope, neither the FCS or the FBS championship.
Yeah,
but bowl season. Do you know who won bowl season?
Go ahead and tell me.
Jake won bowl season.
Of course he did.
This has been alright, I won regular season. You won conference championship week, and Jake won bowl season. So we all won some, actually.
Yeah.
And we all finished above 500 in everything we did. So, well, actually, no. Technically, I'm wrong there because Jake did not finish over 500 in conference championship week.
But did he finish over 500?
Yeah, overall, yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, I think it still is the same order. Me first, you second, Jake third. But it's a lot, we're all like pretty close. So, good year for all of us. So, we done pretty good picking these games. So, technically, you could take our picks and go to Vegas and actually win some money, weirdly enough.
Okay.
That's odd. I can't believe I'm saying that, but in a technical sense, you could.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll make you rich. But our games of the week is we're starting with the FCS championship. Who do you got? James Madison or North Dakota State?
I'm gonna quote you, pull the trigger, and say James Madison.
Okay. It's not a bad pick.
I want to go with the wild card pick for this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it's going to be a great game.
Yeah.
They're both two top programs in the FCS. This game actually starts tomorrow. Not tomorrow, but Saturday. We're recording this Thursday, but the game is Saturday at I think 11. I know.
Okay.
But it's in Texas.
Okay.
You're taking James Madison. I'm going to stick with Hope Faithful and just North Dakota State.
Yeah, all right.
But I think it will be a good game.
Neither one of these are surprising, though, right? Well, North Dakota State, obviously, but James Madison is not a surprise. Okay.
No. They started the year 1-2. So, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this is to be expected. James Madison actually is the only team in the last 7 years to dethrone North Dakota State.
So there's
they have history of doing this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, cool.
It'd be a great game. As for the FBS National Championship in Louisiana, now your original pick was Ohio State. This won't count towards your record because that was your original pick, but in the Bowl Mania thing. But who do you got just on the record today?
I'm going to go against the team that beat Ohio State.
The hell with them! They ruined my pick!
I'm going to go with LSU.
Okay. It's not bad logic because it's at the Sugar Dome, and there'll be 80% LSU fans, too. So it'd be basically a virtual home game. I'm going to go with Clemson. And my logic behind it is, it's just hard to knock off the champs. And, I don't know. I think it's going to be a great game, though. It'll be better than last year's national championship game. It will definitely be better than LSU versus Oklahoma. That wasn't even a football game. So, I think it's going to be a great game. But we're on opposite picks here. And Jake, I think, is going with LSU also.
Yeah,
so.
LSU was actually his overall pick.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So, but we're near the end of the episode. We also have bonus picks coming up here in a minute. If you don't want to listen to that, you don't have to. If you do want to listen to that, that's fine. But as for like college football, we're near the end.
Mm-hmm.
We've discussed everything we've had on our plate here. So I just want to thank anybody that has listened. I know I've done this before. We've done this, I think, at the last week of like the regular season or something.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, I want to thank everybody that's listened to this stupid podcast because we're just three idiots. I mean, that's just proud of doing something this dumb.
Yeah.
And thank you. Like, literally thank you. Literally thank you. What in the world am I even saying? But thank you. For real. I'm just...
Yeah, it's much appreciated.
Yeah.
Because anyone that's going to take like the time out of their day to just listen to us just rattle off this nonsense.
Yeah. It's buffoonery. Heck, I think we've talked about AB like 10 times. But... seriously, I'm just happy that we've had people listen to us and, possibly enjoy it or disagree with us. I don't know, but just makes me happy.
Okay.
And we actually have something else coming up after this podcast. Next week, we're going to be doing a movie podcast. The name of the podcast is going to be The Sailor. I've actually I think I sent you the image.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it's like the Evil Dead. We still got, I think Michael, the guy who painted our photo for Road the Roseboat, is going to paint us a logo for this podcast as well. Thank you, Michael. You've been awesome through all this. You're part of the team also because you gave us a logo. That's
awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. But yeah, and Michael's actually a big movie buff, so we'll have to bring him on for an episode or two.
Yeah, great.
Because he loves film. He's actually like you. He likes Rob Zombie movies and stuff like that.
Oh,
so
cool.
I love Rob Zombie too. But yeah, that's near the end of our college football podcast. Mm-hmm. We're going to get into some bonus games here, and the bonus games are the NFL playoffs. If you don't want to listen to this, that's fine. But this is an important time of the year for football. And I want to get your thoughts, Brian, on the first NFL playoff game. Minnesota versus the 49ers.
I'm going to take the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Other than the Baltimore Ravens, I think the 49ers are the most complete team. So
I'm going anarchy here.
You're going
with all of these picks. Okay, I got Minnesota over the 49ers. Right. I want a dream scenario to match up here. And I'll tell you here in a minute what it is.
Okay.
But I got Minnesota over the 49ers, only for my own sick logic of just stupidity. Because this playoffs has been nuts. So I want to see something just wild happen here. I'll get to it here in a second. I'm going to take Minnesota. The Titans versus Ravens, who do you got?
This is going to be a great game because of, but I'm going to go with the Ravens here. Go ahead. I actually know what you're going to do now. I know what
I'm going with the Titans.
You want the Titans in the
Vikings in the Super Bowl.
That's what you want.
I want complete insanity. I want this thing to go off the rails. Alright, I'm going with the Titans. Alright. My team's out of it. I don't care. I don't care. I just want something nuts to happen. Which is, I guess, a good thing because I can actually watch these games stress-free or whatever.
Yeah.
The Texans versus Kansas City. Who you got?
I got Kansas City.
I got Kansas City too. I'll take this one's actually. I actually just legitimately think this one will happen. Arrowhead's a hard place to play at. Seahawks versus Packers. Who do you got?
I got the Packers.
Got the Packers? I got the Packers too, actually.
Yeah.
Only because it's a more vulnerable team for. Actually, I'll take the Texans over Kansas City. This plays into my whole narrative here. Texans will beat Kansas City, and the Packers will beat Seahawks because I think Minnesota's very familiar with the Packers. They'll beat them, whatever. The Titans are the greatest team ever because they beat New England. Titans win the Super Bowl, and everybody will be shitting their pants. I just want anarchy. This is what I'm rooting for. Anything you're rooting for, like a narrative in these playoffs, necessarily?
Hey, Kirk Cousins winning a Super Bowl would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Kirk Cousins winning a Super Bowl.
Imagine Ryan Tannehill winning a Super Bowl.
Oh, my God.
The world ain't ready.
Kirk Cousins versus Ryan Tannehill. You're right.
It'd just be the weirdest quarterback matchup.
Another good, cool narrative would be if Aaron Rodgers would have won for, the first time in so many years. Mm-hmm. Being able to, after, all the controversy and all of, well,
the biggest narrative, Aaron Rodgers is a great one, too. I think the coach for the Packers, he would be a god.
Yeah.
If he won in his first year.
Yeah.
There. So, yeah, that'd be a great narrative. The Ravens would be a good narrative. Just this upstart team.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson.
And John Harbaugh winning another Super Bowl, yeah.
And all these idiots saying he's nothing but a wide receiver.
Yeah.
That was stupid.
All these teams, like Jimmy Garoppolo, for the San Francisco, would be a great narrative.
It makes me very salty. Honestly, I actually am kind of rooting for Jimmy. I like Jimmy G.
He gets way too much hate.
Way too much. Okay, I actually want to talk about that because I seen a list. This guy listed all the from best quarterback to worst quarterback playing in the NFL playoffs. He had Jimmy Garoppolo last with the remaining teams. So you're telling me that Jimmy Garoppolo is not better than Ryan Tannehill?
Or Kirk Cousins?
What the hell? That was the dumbest thing I ever read.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I'm with you. Jimmy Garoppolo has been one of the most disrespected quarterbacks this season.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's not throwing for 50 touchdowns. They're 13-3 for a reason.
And how many comeback drives did he have this year?
Yeah.
He's
a great player.
Yeah, I don't like it either. I'm with you.
They went 4-12 without him last year, and this year they're the number one seed in the NFC.
Some people rightfully call them the best team in the NFL.
Yeah,
so, yeah,
and they're one of them teams that all year people's doubted them. I wouldn't actually mind seeing the Niners win it. Actually, I think that'd be nice.
Yeah.
The matchup I think most people are wanting, like for like an epic Super Bowl, is Niners versus Ravens.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, and it'd also be a rematch technically.
It would be.
The only thing that's missing is the Harbaugh brothers. That'd be.
Now, I'm actually, because it was the first Super Bowl ever in history, I would like to see the Packers and the Chiefs play.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because it would be like a.
And it's also the 100th season of the NFL.
And and the fact that like 100th season, the two teams that played in the first Super Bowl in NFL history played for the 100th season. That would be great.
The only thing I'll say though is the NFL don't deserve anything that nice. Like the NFL had the Antonio Brown incident this year, and that has overshadowed a lot of things with the NFL. So they deserve total anarchy. They're a messy league. They don't deserve anything nice. But I want to see the Titans win it just because. Honestly, I actually don't hate the Titans either. I like Mike Vrabel because he was on the New England Patriots.
I'd love it for Derrick Henry.
Yeah. I'd like to see it. But I think we're near the end here. Anything else you want to add?
No, man.
I think that's about it for me. Check out our podcast next week. We're doing a movie podcast. Just bring it up again. We'll be talking. We got our first 3 movies selected, I think. What's your first movie you want to talk about?
12 Angry Men.
Okay, that's what I thought. You have 12 Angry Men. I have Uncut Gems, and Jacob has Joker.
Okay.
So that's our first 3 movies, and we're actually be having a surprise thing we'll be talking about on there. It's not movie related, but it is a art form, in my opinion, and you'll hear our thoughts on that next week. You actually don't know what it is.
I don't.
But I'll tell you after we shut this off. But that's about it.
All right.
Mormon out.
Later, guys.